What? There we go.
Hi, Hillary. I didn't think you were coming.
Well,
Nice surprise.
I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. And then I ended up getting home and I rode with Meredith and her clock was an hour fast. So I thought I totally missed it. And then I looked at my phone and was like, oh, it's only 4 something. So here I am.
Well, tell her not to do anything because we turned the clocks ahead this weekend.
Well, it royally confused me, actually.
Okay. All right, so let's start the process today. Rebecca, my original meeting, I don't have the 53 on this one, but I know we're starting with 164 Cliff Road.
Yeah, 53 was on the board, but delayed, if you will.
Okay. All right, so is that Ryder Wilcox?
Yes, good afternoon. Andy Grover from Ryder and Wilcox, representing Robert Boringer and his property of 164 Cliff Road. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Okay, great. Mr. Boringer is on the Zoom call as well. 164 Cliff Road has an existing 4-bedroom dwelling located on it. It was constructed in 1955, and it's bordered on the east by an eroding coastal bank and the Atlantic Ocean. We received Board of Health approval in October 2020 to remove a portion of the existing septic system and install a new biomicrobics microfast treatment tank westerly on the property, retreating from the eroding coastal bank. But after a series of storms this winter, the bank erosion has accelerated and required the existing soil absorption system to be removed. We're before the Board of Health at this time to request the use of an on-site tight tank. As proposed, the tight tank is an environmental improvement over what exists on the site, as it removes septic components close to the eroding coastal bank and with new components at a greater distance from the bank. And in order to modify the septic system, the following is requested from Title V. Approval of a tight tank may be granted to eliminate a failed on-site system when no other feasible alternatives to upgrade the system exists. Due to the proximity of the eroding coastal bank at 164 Cliff Road, we see no other feasible alternative. So at this time, we are requesting to install a tight tank to replace the existing septic system. Thank you.
All right, Hillary, what is your thoughts? And I know they're concerned, but what are your thoughts?
Well, I think this is probably the only viable alternative at this point. I am nervous about anything on this site, and I told that to Bob a couple weeks ago. The erosion here has been so dramatic over the past couple months that I worry about the instability of that whole lot, and I don't know. This is the only solution if there were to be one.
Gary, you got any thoughts?
I have to agree with Hillary. It's about, it's a tight tank. There's not a lot of, other than the pump, the alarm failing, there's not much to go wrong. So
I did, just so you guys know, talk to Bob, a couple weeks ago, and I had him look into that Boosie system. That's the one that goes in the basement, because I thought that might be an option here. And Bob, you can fill the board in on your findings on that. But as it turned out, that was not a feasible option.
So state to state, there's different permissions on that at this point. Unfortunately, Massachusetts still has a 50% reduction in the absorption field, not a zero. Maine, by comparison, just allows a 10% reduction. Other states actually are limiting the need altogether, as they're at least stating that they create potable drinking water upon processing. But the state of Massachusetts isn't permitting that at this point.
there you go.
Nick, you any questions or concerns?
No, I kind of agree. I mean, I walked over there today and it is dramatic. I didn't even want to walk down Cliff Road. It was kind of spooky. But as long as the house is intending to stay there, I don't think there is any other option. So I would agree.
Okay. All right, does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the use of a tight tank at I'm sorry, the address,
164 Cliff Road.
164 Cliff Road. Thank you.
I did send out motion makers, I think yesterday, that had a little more detail to it, so I don't know.
I didn't get it.
Okay.
Nick, did you get yours?
I have a copy, well, I don't have that one, but I have a copy of a motion, so
Here, I got it right here. The design flow is to be limited to 440 gallons per day to serve the 4 bedrooms. No increase in habitable area, no conversion of use, well water testing, deed recording, and a service contract for pumping to be submitted prior to installation.
And you do have annual inspections of pumps as well. on
Yes.
that.
And an annual inspection of the alarm.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I can
I'll
second. Okay.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Three,
Aye.
nothing.
Nick.
Let's hope the bank stays for a while for you.
Yeah.
Okay,
Good
thank
luck.
you. Good
Thank
luck.
you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
Andy.
All right, so now we have 53 Sequestered Bluff Road.
Hello, for the record, I'm Laura Schofield. I'm from Schofield Brothers here representing Bill Whitman. This is a septic system upgrade for an existing 6-bedroom house with a 1-bedroom accessory structure. The existing house was built in 1890. The lot is 20,000 square feet plus lot. It's about 76 feet wide. So it's a narrow lot and it fronts on Wellfleet Harbor. Right now, the dwelling and the accessory building are served by a 1,500 gallon septic tank and a single leaching pit. Mr. Whitman would like to upgrade his system because he's worried about the existing one starting to fail, and he would like to just get ahead of the game. The existing system was put in 1988, and well, that doesn't really seem that long ago. I think it's over 30 years. So he's just trying to get
Crazy.
it done. I know, it's sad.
Crazy. Crazy.
Very sad.
So anyway, a lot of site constraints here. It was a little daunting when I started out because there's a lot of nearby adjacent private water supply wells, and we have Wellfleet Harbor on the other end of the property. But it actually ended up working out pretty well. We have a full Title V soil absorption system that is right in between the private well setbacks and the setbacks to Wellfleet Harbor. So we're complying with the well setbacks, and we're also over 100 feet from the edge of the harbor. Half the leaching area is outside of the 100-foot buffer to the top of the coastal bank. And so what we have proposed is a 2,500 gallon 2-compartment septic tank. And then, as I mentioned, that's going to flow by gravity to a full-sized leaching area. We do require 2 relatively benign local upgrade approvals to Title V. One of them is for depth of cover over the far end of the leaching area. The trenches are underneath the existing driveway. They're okay to be driven over. They have enough cover. We've called for, in addition to the pea stone, some filter fabric just for a little bit of extra protection over the soil absorption system, and it will be vented. And we're also calling for inspection ports in the trenches so that it can be monitored and inspected easily. The other local upgrade approval that we're requesting is for a 2-foot reduction in the 10-foot setback to the foundation of the dwelling. what direction is that? The side of the house next to the soil absorption system is a walkout. So the slab elevation is, I think it's 2.3 feet above the breakout elevation to the nearest trench. And it's only part of that trench that we're requesting. The rest of the trench complies with the 10-foot setback. And I think that's it in a nutshell, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the board has.
Okay, Hillary, your concerns, if any?
I did not have any concerns. Just the size of the lot is small and the size of the dwelling is large. I don't know, there's much we can consider. We don't have a regulation requiring an IA system here, but it's something for the board to consider.
Gary, your thoughts?
Well, I was just going to ask Hillary, in cases like this before, we have not required IA, is that right?
That's correct. And I honestly, I thought about it lightly, and today I was at a wastewater seminar, and good old Claire Golden, I'm sorry, Laura, sort of went down the road that it is within our purview to consider requiring them. And there's a lot of shall language, not must language. And then I specifically asked a question, not with this plan in mind at all, just in general. I asked about downtown, because we have a lot of lots that have more bedrooms than the lot size could accommodate. And she said it's totally within our purview to consider it. And I thought for a while, and I hemmed and hawed, and I asked another question, because a lot of times when we see a failure, the engineers or the sanitarians will tell us they only have to replace the part that's broken. And so she was kind of on the fence about maybe you don't need to ask the question or require it if we're just upgrading the one component that's broken. And I'm giving it some thought. So it just piqued my interest a little bit.
I just want to be consistent with what we've done in the past.
We have not done it in the past.
So that's the way I'm going to lean until we change our policy.
Okay, you
I
have
think
something?
can I say something, Ken?
Yes, please do,
I
Nick.
think one thing we have to remember, and we've heard this from the wastewater committee, that if we continue putting in Title V systems, we're not going to make any progress whatsoever in the harbor. I mean, the latest, even I'm drawing a blank on the committee, but the wastewater testing, the studies that were done even through December 2021 show that we're not making any progress whatsoever. So I think we have to start considering. I know, Gary, what you're saying, that we haven't done it, but we're going to have to start doing it, or else we're not going to get anywhere.
Well, I think we need to make a policy change that everybody's
exactly.
aware of first.
I think that's what I was going to lead to, because that was my question. In fact, I happened to meet Mr. Whitman today. I went to the house just to look around. A real charming guy, and I got a super tour of the house, and we talked for about an hour. And he had some concerns because we talked about what he was putting in, and he said behind the scenes, I guess the engineer and you, Hillary, and he had some discussions about an IA system, and he was a little concerned about the technology. He said the EIAs are a little too new for him to believe in. Yep. So he had to, and there may have even been some economic issues about he was putting so much money into the house. I mean, I don't want to, I'm not sure about that, but there were a lot of issues. There were a lot of issues that he had about, and he said he's been working on the house for 20 years now, and he really had he had issues, but he didn't really want to put in an IA system. Now, my first thought, I went there to see why wouldn't we put in an IA system. When I saw where it was, it's in an ACEC area, and it's right on the harbor. Beautiful place. But I understand we're in this quandary where we can't force the issue. I mean, the setbacks are fine, but I think in an ideal world, he would have an AI system in there because of the proximity. And because of the fact, if we continue putting, if you want to believe what the wastewater and Scott Horsley's been telling us, we keep putting in Title V's, we're not going to get anywhere.
Right, which is why I think we need to change our policy, Nick.
Well, I do too. And I same thing with the cesspools and all that. We have to come to terms with, we have to have some
Right.
meetings to come to terms with how we're going to deal with this in the future, because we're not going to make any progress.
But I
So I
don't,
agree
I don't
with you.
think we should
Yeah.
spring it on people, though.
No, I understand. Without a regulation, we're tied. I mean, there's nothing we can force yet without having come to terms. And certainly the three of us, we have to have a full committee to make this kind of decision and discussion. But we got to start
Right.
discussing the whole notion and make a move on it, because we're just not going to get anywhere.
Well,
Especially in an area right on the harbor like that. I mean, it really.
I'm with you, Nick.
Okay,
I'm with you.
very good.
What do you have to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just quite frankly, I brought it up because it's something that I was thinking about, and I heard it loud and clear at the meeting today and queried up a couple questions to Claire. And I was going to suggest that we put it on a future agenda, because I think in the long run, we're hurting ourselves by not taking action when
I
these
agree.
plans come before us. And quite frankly, I think Laura's going to have an uphill battle with the CONSCOM anyway to battle through this with them as well. And she's aware of that, and she'll have her ducks in a row to have that discussion. But I think we have to begin to take some action here, because these are the lots that we should be particularly concerned about, the ones that are fronting the beach and the harbor. So,
Well,
so,
I agree.
I think we make our decision tonight based on our past practices and have a discussion at our next meeting about moving forward. So that's all.
I agree completely. I agree completely.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. We have to move forward, but you gotta have we have to have a
I found,
plan,
yeah.
and we have to have the proper meetings to move anything forward, especially when you have undersized lots like this one with a 7-bedroom house on it. It's a prime example for putting a IA in, or any type of
That's right.
enhance to help with anything. So at this juncture, because we do not have, well, I don't know if you want to call it proper, but we don't have any etiquette for moving forward by forcing an IA into the ground. Could I ask for a motion, please?
I think just clarification, I think you want to see to be consistent with past practices.
Yeah,
Because
and
you
to be
could
consistent.
require it if it felt right, but it doesn't feel right because this board has
Doesn't feel
always.
right at this moment, no. Could I ask for a motion, Hillary?
Yes, let me pull one up.
Oh, Gary, you had something?
I was just going to say, I move to approve the plan as presented.
Okay.
And Hillary's got the info. I didn't get any of the paperwork.
Gosh, did any of you get it? Because I sent it out that afternoon.
I got it.
Okay, all right, as long as one of you got it.
Let's show up there. I'm trying to find the paper here.
No,
There
I
is.
have it right here. I have it right here, but I made sure
I got
sent
it.
to
I
all
got
of you because I wasn't sure if I was going to be here. Doesn't matter. I move to approve the Schofield Brothers of Cape Cod Plan number 0-12531 dated 2/22/22 and grant the 2 variances requested in the letter of 2/24/22 for the upgrade of a septic system to serve a 7-bedroom structure or structures, a non-conforming dwelling with respect to nitrogen loading. Subject to the following conditions: design flow to be limited to 781 gallons per day to serve 7 bedrooms. No increase in habitable area or conversion of use without Board of Health review. Well water testing and deed recording.
Can
Thanks,
I have a
guys.
second, please?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, there's my hand up. Nick?
I certainly am in favor of the variances. I like to go on record, though, that I would have preferred an IA system. All right,
So
the
noted.
variances I have no problem with whatsoever, okay?
Okay. All right, well, so let's move forward. Good luck with Conscom. The Conscom next? Yeah, so
Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, so what do we have? Minutes. November 10th, we cannot do. Because Nick was not there.
Yeah, I can't vote on the 10th. The others seem fine to me.
Yeah, well, the 17th was just me, Janet, and Nick, so we can't do the 17th, because I really want to, there may be words that Rebecca, being a diplomat, didn't include, so I'll have to look at that, so.
Okay, listen, I'm just happy I got them done for you. So you take your time.
Thank you, Rebecca.
And you, Rebecca, the 18th, no, the December 8th, we can't do. January 12th.
Ella's in
Hey,
trouble.
we can do the 12th. Can I have a motion to
Yep.
approve, January 12th? I'll make a motion.
I motion, okay.
1 second.
I'll second, Nick.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye,
Aye.
all right, you got the 12th, and what do we got, February 8th? Oh, it says February 8th, but it's the 9th. So I wasn't there. And that's one thing I want to thank the board for moving forward without me there and dumping the stupid mask mandate. So I want to thank the board for that. But so we can't approve that one either. So better luck next week, Rebecca, or next month.
So next month, I just want to be clear. I think we should put a discussion, at least of wastewater regulations on the agenda. So we
Yes.
can get something solidified to move forward. I agree with a consistent policy, but I also feel like the wastewater committee is still working away and we're still approving standard Title V systems because we
Yeah.
can. And I think in good conscience, we have to make an effort to bring about a change sooner rather than waiting.
I agree.
I don't think we need to push the enhanced IA if folks are nervous about it. We heard more results from the layer cake today and it's not too promising. So I think, we may be better off as a board and more consistent if we, continue to offer the EIA to those that are interested and continue to also offer just the regular IAs because those are working and making a difference compared to the standard Title V. So.
Right.
My
Can I
thought
bring up
process,
some?
anything around the harbor area that is an undersized lot, because this is what, 20,000 square feet? this
Yeah.
lot, With a
Yeah.
seven-bedroom house on it.
Mhm.
It should have something because, that's, small lot, large house, lot of, wastewater. That, if I'm gonna agree to anything, something like that would probably, how is it? Tickle my feather or whatever you want to
Yeah.
call it, to put an IA and force some type of issue for an IA in the ground on a lot that small.
Hillary, can I
Yeah.
ask you?
Go
Yeah.
ahead,
Sorry,
Dave.
Nick.
No, I was
Um,
going to agree with Ken 100%, especially in the ACEC, that whole coastline. We're going to face this a lot as houses get refurbished and everything is with all these tear downs. And so I think we really have to take the initiative and I hope we discuss it at length next meeting.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Yeah, I hope we have enough, have all our folks, we have Janet and all that stuff.
Yes, we should.
Um,
We should.
Can I, hold on here. Am I there?
No,
You're,
you're not.
we hear you, but we don't see you.
Okay, well, the question is the wastewater committee far enough along where we can start talking about the cesspool thing?
That's a sigh.
Yes, I know.
Taking that as a no. There
I-
you
you
are.
know,
Oh, there you
I
go.
think-
You guys are
Here's the
back.
thing. I think we can, and I think we can be realistic and possibly think about requiring IA along the estuary, along the backside where we know we're not going to have a sewer ever. Leave downtown alone because downtown's the questionable area. And yes, I think I could get out of Scott and our consultants, like the area to be served that they're looking at. So I think I could get that. I don't know if I can get that for our next meeting, but I think along our freshwater ponds out in the middle of nowhere, we absolutely have to do this sooner rather than later,
Yeah.
because those are going to be the areas that are going to suffer with the cyanobacteria and invasive plants and lack of oxygen. And, we got to do it now. We can't keep waiting.
Then Nick, what do you got?
No, I was going to say, I think that they had mapped, the wastewater committee had mapped out a couple of areas where they were anticipating the AI systems would be used most extensively. So we can actually review that map that they did, but this was one of them, this whole coastal area, the ACEC area, part of it. So I think if we look back at the map, they had sort of divided the town where, as Hillary was saying, where the cesspools were going to be, where the septic, the sewage was going to be, where they were depending on the permeable barrier, where they were going to use the AI system. So it's kind of mapped out a little bit. So we should certainly in those areas make a move to get things done as they're hoping we do, with AI systems in there. So we'll see what happens. But I think the start is getting together as a group, a committee next meeting, and really getting serious about getting something that makes us feel better about doing what we need to do. That is some kind of regulation that allows us to feel comfortable doing it.
Gary,
I
you're
can't tell
muted.
if Gary's trying to talk to us or he's talking.
I don't know, Gary, you're muted.
He might know that.
Oh, okay. Well, I have a question. The idea of
Hold
moving
on, I
forward.
think Gary
maybe
is
doing-
trying to talk to us. Let's see if we can unmute him. Rebecca, can we unmute Gary ourselves?
I think I can ask. Hang on, let me see.
Oh, here you
There
go.
you
Is that
go.
is that it?
Yeah, that's
There you
it.
go.
That's it. There we go, Gary.
Okay, there you go. I'm sorry. I'm freaking technologically incompetent, but
Don't touch your phone.
there's going to be a lag time, when we're going to come up with the policy, and then we're going to have to set a date, ahead. That's why I think we need to
Yep.
to maybe get it in place now so that we can start that timetable.
Yep.
Agreed.
Like, I don't
Yeah.
know what we're going to give people, what everybody's comfortable with, a year and a half, 2 years.
6
You know,
months.
Sick. Well, something we're going to give them. We have to
Yes.
give them some kind of lag time.
Yes, absolutely.
So
I wouldn't go,
which is why I'm thinking that the sooner we get this regulation, then the sooner that time can start moving.
Yeah.
Now,
So that's all
what I was going to say, I know a lot of committees and groups that go into a hybrid. I don't know if you guys ever want to start, because I miss you guys.
Yeah.
About meeting in person or doing a hybrid. I don't know what the town's policy is right this moment about meeting.
I don't know either, quite frankly. I was gonna ask the question. I know we're not set up for hybrid last I asked, but Rebecca, you might know more.
I actually do know more. So the Board of Health is going to hybrid, I think their first or second April meeting, because they will be set up for hybrid at that point.
Oh, good.
You can stay Zoom if you want, because the legislation has made it until July 30th of 2022. But you can also go into regular in-person meetings. And I think you'll just be recorded like you are here.
Where,
double
I'd like
check-
to start in person.
Yeah, it's going to be at the senior center. That's where the hub is for the hybrid meetings. So
okay, cool.
I can check with JP Ludwig, who is our media guy, just to make sure and let you know. Because I think your April meeting you can do in person if you want. And you guys are early enough where it's not a big deal to
Yay.
be there.
that'd be nice.
Yay.
Because
Yeah.
I would like to
That'd be
keep the
great.
process moving forward, and I would like to meet in person. The Chamber of Commerce, that we
Yep.
had a hybrid last night where half the board was in person, the other half was, on Zoom. So
Was
I'd
it
like-
awkward or weird or totally fine?
Lara had her computer set up where everybody could see us, but we could see like down the table where the other members were.
Cool.
Now, my wife had a little cold, so I didn't want to go in case I was
Yep.
bringing something. They didn't want to freak people out if I coughed, so
Yeah.
I stayed home. But
Great. Good. Cool.
But I would like to start the process because normalcy, hopefully, will eventually completely be back to us. So I think the process should be started, and if we can do it for April, that'd be great.
Oh, that's the next meeting. That's great.
All right.
Rebecca, get on that.
I'm on it.
Perfect.
Could I just remind Rebecca to send me the packets when she's got them
I did.
all
I
in
sent it to you
line?
Friday.
Yeah, Carrie, are you not getting your email? Because if you didn't get anything from me, I sent out 2
I didn't
emails
get anything.
querying if you were coming to the meeting, the first one, and then I sent the motion makers, and I sent a message yesterday morning to y'all telling you that I had a seminar today and I wasn't sure if I'd be back in time and that I would send you the motion makers later in the day.
And
So
I didn't send it to the Board of Health.
I
I
didn't
sent it
get-
to your personal email on Friday.
Geez, I didn't get it, and I'll have to look at my trash, so
Okay, yeah,
I
check
don't
there,
know
'cause
what's
I
going
think
on
gotta
I'm
do
there.
sending
the
it to the GL, the same one.
560
I've
Yeah,
always used.
5609.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too.
So Gary, you
Well,
got it to the
I-
trash, huh? Gary, you have it sent to the trash.
Thanks a
I don't-
lot,
I don't-
Gary.
I didn't mean to. I don't know if I don't even know if it is in trash. I gotta look.
Well, you don't have to worry about it now because I'll just bring it to the meeting at this point.
But let's just make sure he's getting our correspondence. 'cause-
Yeah, absolutely.
And I've sent out a couple other odds and ends over the
And
week.
Gary, I just sent you an email asking if you were coming to the meeting. So if you didn't get that, let me know.
I did. I got that one at 5:31.
Yes.
I got that one.
Good.
Yeah, no, I sent you a full packet and I forwarded the 53 Sequestered Road as well. I forwarded that
I did.
Friday too.
I for whatever reason, I didn't get it.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
that's all right.
And I submitted our annual
You know,
report.
it's a-
and just
Yes, I'm putting that together. Actually, I started yesterday.
So, Hillary, do we have any other business besides what we're talking about?
That's it. We've got 5 cases of COVID. We had none for about a month and now we have 5. But of course, it's not an accurate accounting because our data is late. Some of it's probable, some of it's confirmed, and we don't know what folks are doing at home. And the masks are coming off the kids at the school today or tomorrow. So very soon.
I saw kids getting on the bus today that they did not have a mask, so I'm. thinking
Okay,
that is
today.
Today then.
No, my
Right.
kids
I went
are
into the
February
bank
28th.
in P-Town today and it was the first time no one had any masks. I was shocked.
We're
I was
good for a
freaked out.
little while here.
Well, we
Well,
see people
nothing-
again.
Just crossed.
All right, well, if we got nothing else, we
you.
all set?
Yep.
All right,
Thank you.
I have a motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second, me.
I'll second, Nick. Yeah, second.
I
All
look
right,
forward to seeing you
ladies,
guys.
Gentlemen, we'll see you next month, hopefully in person.
Be
Bye,
a-
guys.
be a busy
Bye.
meeting, a busy meeting. Okay, bye-bye.
I gotta go ride my Peloton.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.